Happy Friday. My name is Dory Schneider from Stampin' Always with Dory, and I have a card design that I would like to share with you today. The card features the ornate style stamp set, the little flower here. It also features the ornate layers die and also the ornate thanks stamp set. This is a new suite that Stampin' Up! Called the Ornate Garden Suite. It's an early release and customers can get items from the suite collection. So I'm going to show you this card that I designed with the Ornate Garden Suite products. So I'm going to start out with a piece of terracotta tile cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I just have the, not the folded card, just one piece, okay? Then next, I'm gonna bring in another piece of terracotta tile cardstock, and this is 3 1/4 by 8 1/2. And I am going to fold this in half, and I'm gonna use my bone folder to give a nice crease across the edge. Okay, then I'm going to use, you can use the adhesive of your choice. I am going to use Stampin' Up's snail adhesive, and I am going to put my adhesive across this piece of the terracotta tile. Then I'm going to bring back my piece that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I am going to attach this right there, and this will be our card. You can see this folds nicely. Okay, I'm gonna score this here. All right, so that is our card base that we're going to use today. Next, I'm going to take a piece of our designer series paper, and the designer series paper is also from the Ornate Garden Suite, and there are several different options in this suite. The piece that I chose, you can see how beautiful this is. It has lots of colors, and I am going to take a piece that is 3 by 4, and I'm going to add that to the front of my card. And sometimes it's a little bit easier because you have the same color. If you open it this way, and then you can add your designer series paper right there on the front. Okay, and I like to smooth it out with my bone folder. The next thing we're going to do, let me bring the card back in here again, is I'm going to show you how I did the design just on the top of our piece of Whisper White cardstock. Okay, so one of the products in the Ornate Garden Suite is an embossing folder, a 3D embossing folder, and this is it here. It is called the Ornate Floral 3D embossing folder. So, and I'm going to show you how I just got the design at the top of my cardstock. So what you're going to do is you're going to open your embossing folder like so, and you're going to put it in a little bit less than halfway. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to close the embossing folder. You are going to put it into your die cut machine, and you're not going to roll across the edge. So when you're advancing and you roll it through, you want to stop right here around the line that Stampin' Up! Puts on their embossing folders. Because if you go over the edge, and you know how when you roll over the edge, you hear that kind of like that clunk, that will give you a line or like a separation on your cardstock. So we don't want that. We want it to kind of just fade a little bit onto the Whisper White like I've already done here for you, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and we are going to add this piece of Whisper White to the card base. That was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 of terracotta tile. And we're gonna go ahead and put that right on there. And again, I'm gonna smooth that with my embossing folder, my bone folder, sorry, wrong folder. Okay. So you can see our card is building here. The next thing I'm going to do is I used the Ornate Layers dies and I cut out, this is the die here, let me show you. I'll show you the back of it too. Okay, so I ran this through my die cut machine and I used terracotta tile, and this is what the design that you get, okay? And so I am going to use, you notice they're very intricate. They're called ornate for a reason. So if all of your little pieces do not come out, we have this great tool. It's called the Take Your Pick tool. And it has several different additions that you can use. And it has a little poking tool. So you can go in and you can poke out the little pieces if they don't come out when you run it through your die cut machine. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and do that there. All right. The next thing, so this would be the piece I would use. The next thing I'm going to do is I cut out a small, here it is here. These are the So Sentimental dies. These are perfect. They have the little scallops, and then they also have the little stitched image around the outside. And so I went ahead and I cut one of those out and I stamped it in Early Espresso. And I used the sentiment, oh, excuse me, I have some little card pieces there. Sorry about that. I used the sentiment from the second stamp set, and that one is called Ornate Thanks. So that one has the nice bold, 3 bold greetings there, and then it has all these other little additions that you can add. So you can say seriously thank you, or thanks ever so much. There are a lot of great combinations that you can use with that one. So that one's called Ornate Thanks, and the other one is called Ornate Style. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to, this is going to go on the front of my card. But before we put it all together, let me move this aside. I have this little flower that I have stamped in Early Espresso, and that one comes from the Ornate Style stamp set. So the Ornate Style stamp set is one that has all of the floral images, and then the Ornate Thanks is the one that has all of your sentiments that you would need. So it is a great combination, 2 great bundles wrapped up into one suite. So what I did with my Ornate Style is I am going to color in with my Wink of Stella. And what I'm going to do is I gave my ink pad a nice squeeze, and you get this reservoir of Pear Pizzazz ink. And I'm going to use this to color in my leaf on my flower. And so this is kind of a reconstituted Wink of Stella. It's one of my older ones. I have several that I keep on hand because I absolutely love adding a little bit of glimmer and shimmer to my projects. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's shimmer there. Okay. And then the next color that I chose was Petal Pink. And so I'm gonna take my Wink of Stella pen. I'm just gonna rub the color off, kind of like a blender pen or an aqua painter if you've ever used those products before. And I am going to, again, dip into my ink, and I'm gonna come back here, and I am going to color in my flower image. Okay, and it's really neat when you color in with the Wink of Stella. Like I said, I reconstituted it. So I just added, I knew there was more glimmer and shimmer at the bottom. So I put a little bit of rubbing alcohol in the bottom of it, and I'm still using it. So, and I'm using it to add color as I go to my projects. So this is terracotta tile. This is the same color as the cardstock that we used for our card base. And so I'm just gonna come back in and add a little bit more color here around the center of the flower. Okay, and terracotta tile can be pretty bold, so I'm just going around the outside edge here and dipping to add my color. Okay, so there's that. And then last but not least, I am going to use one of our early espresso ink pads. And this one, I'm gonna give it a small, gentle squeeze. And look at all of that great ink that you have for coloring in. So I'm just gonna dip in the center, and I'm gonna add a little bit of early espresso to the center of my flower. Okay, and there's your little, I don't know what that might be, a daisy or whatever you would like it to be. Okay, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna put all of this together now. So I have my card base, I have all of my pieces that I need, and let's go ahead and make our card. And before I do this, I wanted to show you this. This is one I made the other day, and you can see the glimmer and shimmer on that one too. I used the Wink of Stella to color in the flower image, and that worked very nicely on that one as well. All right, so here is one that I've already put together, the components. And so this is what your piece will look like, okay? And I love dimensional, so I am going to raise this up on the front of my card. So what I'm gonna do is I took and I put 3 dimensionals right, whoops, those are backwards, sorry about that, in a row right there at the top where the designer series paper is. Okay, these are double-sided, so you want to make sure that you peel the fronts off of those. And then you're simply going to take your little ornate die and you're going to add right to the top of that. Okay, so there's the front of your card, and then you flip it open and you can put your sentiment here, and then you can also, if you have a lot that you would like to say, you could also put another piece of Whisper White, which the dimensions for that would be 3 by 4 over here on the side. So that would give you 2 opportunities if you wanted to put your sentiment here and you could write here, or vice versa. So I'm gonna add to the inside, your kindness is so loved. So we have the thanks on the outside, and then I'm gonna put on the inside in my early espresso ink, your kindness is so loved. So I'm going to tap, tap, and right down, right back up, okay? So that is our ornate style fancy fold card. Oh, and there's one more thing that I wanted to show you as part of this suite. There are the gilded gems, and I absolutely love these. And so I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to turn it around. So you just give it a little twist, and you can, brings out the little spatula. So it's like a little spatula for chocolate chip cookies, but this is our spatula for gems. And these have adhesive on the back. So you're going to pick that up, and I just added it to the front of my card. I just wanted a little pop of gold there. And you can put them anywhere. I tend to do them kind of on the diagonal from one another, but you just have your little gems that you can see there too. So again, my name is Dory Schneider from Stampin' Always with Dory. If you would like to check out any of these products, you can go to doryschneider.stampinup.net, and you can also follow me on Facebook at Stampin' Always with Dory, or on Instagram at Stampin' with Dory. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.